Chapter 2, American Yogi, a Memoir. Checkers. My great-grandfather and I sat on his front porch. His old red and black checkerboard spread out on a small wooden table. The air is heavy with the scent of honeysuckle. The humidity is so high that I perspire even in the shade. He leaned his weight on an old walking stick with an L-shaped top handle. You can still make out a few knots where branches once came out. I hear a little dog barking in the distance. One of the neighbors is mowing his lawn with a mechanical push mower. The machine whirs each time he pushes it forward. There is a pause in the sound as a neighbor draws it back. His wife Mimi came out on the porch, her face locked in a perpetual scowl. She is yelling at him for some reason in a loud voice, either because he is deaf or she is angry. Neither of these conditions ever change. He did not look her way, but laughed to himself. She turned in a huff and went back inside, slamming the green screen door behind her. I reach out with my small hand and make a move. Afterwards, he says, "You are a good checker player." He made his next move, pushing his red checker up against my black checkers. I force him to jump me and take off two of his pieces. The checker is half as big as my palm. He let out a laugh and slapped his knee. "Well, what do you know?" he said, chuckling to himself. "What do you know?" After the game, Grandpa said, "Would you like to go for a ride?" I checked to make sure he is looking at me and nod my head yes. His 1949 Plymouth is a long blue-gray curve of metal. The curve starts at the windshield and goes over the top and down the back all the way to the back rear chrome bumper. The trunk is part of this curve, which has a small chrome handle. It opens to a large carpeted area for storage. Along the side of the car is a long black running board, complete with chrome trim. The windshield forms a V shape with small wipers mounted on the top of the square flat windows. At the far end of the hood is a statue of a nude lady with erect wings. She has one hand pointing up towards the sky, as if she sees something. The dashboard is of dark polished hardwood. Before he starts the car, he pumps the gas pedal a few times to get fuel to the engine, and then pulls on a handle marked choke. The engine comes to life with a puff of smoke, causing a slight vibration. The seats are soft cloth and have a smell like Johnson's floor wax. On each of the side windows is a small piece of glass that swivels. I turn to direct the air in. Grandpa turns the handle and cranks the driver's side window down. After watching how he did this, I followed his example, although I used two hands to make it move. He shifts into reverse on the steering column and places his arm over the seat. He turns to look back and then lets out the clutch. As the car backs up, the tires make a crunching sound on the composite driveway. The black tires come to a halt with the words Plymouth, now upside down on the shiny aluminum hubcaps. With another puff of exhaust, we are off. As we pick up speed, I lean out the window. The fresh air cools my sweaty face. We drive down a country lane until we come to a tall willow tree. Grandpa pulls over to the side and leans over past me to the glove compartment. Long white hairs come out of his right ear. After he finds his pipe, he unrolls the tobacco pouch and fills the pipe. He strikes his match against the rough black strip on the side of the matchbox. The car fills with an aroma of tobacco and cherries. After a few long inhales, the pipe bowl glows red. He inhales the smoke in a more rhythmic way. We sit together, neither of us talking. We look out across the shimmering heat coming off the hayfield. A slight breeze moves the skirt of green leaves around the weeping willow. Grandpa, I say, why do they call it a weeping willow? He puffs on his pipe a few more times and looks off to his left out the side window. I realize that he does not hear me. I tap on his leg. He took the pipe out of his mouth and exhaled a puff of smoke and said, "Yes?" "Grandpa, why do they call it a weeping willow?" He pauses for a moment and has a faraway look in his eyes. I remember an old photo of him in his bedroom on the chest of drawers. He is wearing his army uniform from World War I, looking young and cocky. He has one leg rest on the running board of a battlefield ambulance and one arm resting on the open window. I remember Grandmother Mimi tell my mom that Grandpa never talks about the war. His hearing was damaged from an artillery shell exploding in the tent.